Each unit will consume for 5 kg. So we need to multiply, then we are getting 2500. That is actually standard quantity. 20 minus 16, 4, we are getting 6000 into 4, 24,000, which is getting a favorable result because the sign is more. Okay, obviously. The formula is material cost variance. Easily we can find out standard cost minus actual cost. So to calculate the standard cost, we need a standard quantity and standard price. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Natesh, lecturer in Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. We are in the Unit 5, Section 11, 4th semester BCom Costing Methods and Technique. The chapter name is Budgetary Control and Standard Costing. Today my agenda is under standard costing a few problems. Okay, so the first problem, the standard cost card reveal the following information. Okay, so here because we are doing the problem which is related to variance. How we are getting variance? Standard minus actual. If you try to take the difference, you are getting the variance. Okay, so obviously the information which is related to the material, standard price is given 10 rupees per kg. And the standard quantity is 5 rupees kg. Okay, obviously here under variance we are calculating material related and labor related. So under labor cost, the standard rate per hour is rupees given, 20 rupees is given, and hours set per unit is 10 hours. So we need to take the total how many hours, okay, the labors are working. Even the material also, whatever the quantity is given, we need to multiply the how many product we are producing. So actual data are given below. Actually, because when we are trying to compare with the standard as well as the actual related information is here. The actual material used is 2750 is given. The standard material which is not given, but the information which is related to directly they specified. Now actual material cost is given 24,750. So using the actual material cost, so here the actual hours are work 6,000. Okay, so if you divide easily actual price, we can get here. And the actual labor cost also given 96,000. Actually, how many hours are working? So based on the we are trying to calculate the rate. Okay, now unit are produced 500 unit. So why? Because actual yield is clearly specified in the question, 500 unit. If you multiply with the how many, to produce 500 unit, each unit will consume for 5 kg. So we need to multiply, then we are getting 2500. That is actually standard quantity. Now, so you need to calculate the material cost variance and price variance and usage variance. So under material cost variance, so here we need to find out material price variance plus material usage variance. Okay, so both we need to find out. So again, the labor cost variance and the rate and the efficiency, okay, which is related. The first one, whatever the data is given, we will try to write in this simple word. So here the material cost variance, because the formula is material cost variance, easily we can find out standard cost minus actual cost. So to calculate the standard cost, we need a standard quantity and a standard price. So with the help of information, standard quantity required, because the 500 outputs actually yield is given 500, output is given 500. So you are consuming a 5 kg material, so obviously the standard quantity 2500 we are getting. Here the 500 unit what you are producing, you are consuming a 5 kg of material, so that we can get the standard quantity is 2500. So now the actual quantity which is given in the question, no need to calculate directly. The actual material is 2750 kg. Now the standard price per kg also, which is given 10 rupees per kg. And actual price which is not given, but the information is given, actual material cost divided by actual quantity. Okay, so easily to find out the price, the formula cost divided by quantity. Okay, in the question cost is given 24,750. So we are producing how many units? 2,750. If you divide, easily we can get 24,750 divided by 2,750. If you divide, you are getting the actual price is 9. Once you get whatever the formula is required. Okay, so after getting all the information, we need to go for directly Material, under material cost variance, the standard cost minus actual cost. How to find out standard cost? Standard quantity into standard price. The standard quantity just now we calculated 2500. Now standard price also given in the question 10 rupee. So if you multiply, you're getting 25,000. Actual cost which is directly given in the question 24,750. So directly we can write. Otherwise, if you multiply, see, actual quantity 2750 into 9, the same rate we are getting, so directly we can write. After substituting, now here you are getting a positive high 25,000, easily we can subtract it minus 24,750. Obviously we are getting the favorable result, okay, because positive, the first value is more, okay. So compared to the next value, actual cost value is 24,000, so the favorable result we are getting, that's what we are writing in the bracket F. So moving to under material cost variance, which is a combination of material price variance. Material price variance, easily see, when you are talking related to material, so obviously which is coming under the actual quantity into standard price minus actual price. The standard quantity we know 2750, which is given. The formula is very simple to understand here. So the standard price 10 minus actual price, we just know we calculated 9 rupees. If you subtract 1, you are getting. So after multiplying, this is also you are getting a favorable result. Okay. So obviously moving to the material usage variance. See, when we a material usage variance, which is always compared with the price, right? So obviously we need to write a standard price. Here we are writing the actual quantity for the price, but material usage we are writing standard price into standard quantity minus actual quantity. Standard price which is given in the question 10. Now standard quantity also we calculated 2500 minus actual quantity 2750. If you subtract, the difference is 250, which is a minus sign, right? So because see 2500 minus 2750, obviously which is a minus sign, so we don't want to write minus sign. So just for we are writing, after multiplying whatever the answer you are getting, you need to write A, capital letter A, which is an adverse, unfavorable. Okay, so moving for the verification. Okay, verification, we know the formula for material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus material usage variance. Material price variance we got 2750 and material usage variance 2500. So obviously if you try to adjust the positive value, we see the positive sign is more compared to the negative sign. A is so the difference is always positive only getting, because positive value is more. Moving for the labor cost variance, because under labor cost variance, the labor cost variance formula standard labor cost minus actual cost. Okay, actual labor cost. So when we are taking material cost, but labor cost means labor only we need to consider here. So standard labor cost minus actual labor cost. So what and all the information is required to calculate how to get a standard labor cost. The standard labor cost, it's very easy. Standard hours into standard rate. See, because we need to refer the information which is related to the labor. Okay, not for materials. Okay, so the standard rate per is 20 is given. So the standard hours also it's given 10. So obviously we need to calculate, see, the standard labor hours required to actual production, because each producing we are consuming for 10 hours. Okay, so the 10 hours standard set is for the 10. So obviously we need to multiply with the 500 units. How many hours we can depend here? See, 500 into 10 rupees, if you multiply, 5000 hours is required. Now actual hours is work which is given in the question 6000. Okay, actual work is 6000 is given. So the information we got for the, okay, so next one, the standard rate also is given. We need to refer for the standard rate is 20. Okay, now actual rate easily we can see, if I identify the actual rate also, the standard rate is given. Actual rate, how to find out? Because the labor cost value is given here. Labor cost value 96,000. Okay, so actually work for 6,000. So 96,000 divided by 6,000, 16 rupees we are getting. That is an actual rate. So once we got all the information, now easily we can simplify this formula. So apply the formula. Standard labor cost, how we are getting? Standard hours into standard rate. Actual labor cost, how we are getting? Actual hours into actual rate. So now we got standard hours, just now we calculated 5,000 hours, and the standard rate is which is given in the question under labor 20. If you multiply 1 lakh we are getting, and again again actual labor cost value, because the formula is having a labor cost value. Directly labor cost only we which is given in the question 96,000. Otherwise 6,000 into 16, if you do the same thing you are getting. So after subtracting we are getting 4,000 favorable result, because 1 lakh minus 96,000, obviously we are getting a favorable. So moving under labor cost variance only, we need to calculate labor rate variance as well as efficiency variance. The labor rate, see in case of material variance we are writing a AQ, okay, so SP minus AP. Now what we are substituting? Quantity place we are writing hours, P place we are writing R. So the very simple to remember this formula. So okay, so the actual hours which is 6,000, which is given in the question. The standard rate also we identified in the question. 20 minus actual rate is given, calculated 16. So obviously we are getting 20 minus 16, 4, we are getting 6,000 into 4, 24,000, which is getting a favorable result because the sign is more, okay, obviously. And moving to the labor efficiency variance, the formula is very simple here. When we are writing a standard hours here, obviously we need to write the standard rate first time, the standard rate. Now next time what we are writing? Standard hours minus actual hours. Okay, the standard rate is given in the question 20. Standard hours we calculated 5,000 minus actual hours is a 6,000. Obviously we are getting a negative, because from the 5,000 if you subtract 6,000, obviously 1,000 you're getting a negative value. So that's what the as it is, once you multiply 20 into 1,000, 20,000 you're getting. So we are writing a is a capital unfavorable, so adverse. Okay, now verification, again using the original formula we need to verify the whatever answer we are getting. So material cost variance we got around 4,000, I have written as it is. Okay, the material rate 24,000, I have written 24,000, which is a favorable sign. Okay, plus material efficiency variance we got 20,000. So obviously from the 24,000, if you try to adjust, the difference will be always favorable because the value is more here for 24,000. Moving for the next question. So here there is one more questions to understand, you will get more clarity. The standard cost card for 1 unit of product show the following cost of material and labor is given. So obviously the information which is related to standard as well as actual. Okay, now the material 4 kg at rupees 10 per kg, per 10 per hour. So here we are finding for 4 and 10 rupees. The labor 10 hours at 3 rupees per hour. So unit, how many units? So we are producing 5,700 unit of product were manufactured during the month of March with the following materials and labor cost. Okay, now whatever the information first which is highlighting, so which is coming under the standard. Now moving to the actual one, material 23,000 kg at rupees 9.9. So which is a material price. Obviously the labor here 56,800 is given at the rate of 3.04, which is an actual rate. Okay, so moving calculate material and labor variance and verify your answer. In this material cost variance, we need to find out the material cost variance, which is nothing but the standard cost minus actual cost. How to get standard cost? The standard quantity into standard price, if you multiply, so obviously you can get the standard cost, and the actual cost of you are getting actual quantity into actual price. Okay, so with the help of the data whatever which is there in the question, okay, because we are producing a 5,700, so each consumption, the material producing one product it is 4 kg. So if you multiply the standard quantity, we will get 22,800 units. Okay, the actual quantity which is given in the question 23,000 units. Okay, the standard price also given in the question 10 rupee, and the actual price also given 9.90 per kg. So once you getting that information, now we have tried to go for the material cost variance. The standard quantity we got 22,800 and multiply the standard price 10 rupees. Okay, now 2,28,000 we are getting. The actual quantity, the 23,000 units, the rate is also given 9 rupee 90 paise. If you multiply 2,27,000, okay, so the difference what we are getting 300, which is a favorable. So moving to the next one, material price variance. actual quantity into the standard price minus actual price. The actual quantity we got 23,000 in the question. The standard price which is specified in the question is 10. Actual price is 9. So the difference we are getting a positive sign. If you multiply with the 0.10 into 23,000, so we are getting 2,300, which is a favorable result. So once you calculated for the material price variance, moving to the material usage variance, so nothing here, the formula standard price into the standard quantity minus actual quantity. The difference is the standard price which is given in the question 10. Standard quantity 22,800 we calculated minus actual quantity 23,000, obviously, which is giving a negative value. So which is called see that 200 we are getting a negative. So 10 into 200 multiply the 2000, which is when you are getting a negative, no doubt, which is an unfavorable, you have to write for the adverse. Okay, so once you get calculated, now what we need to do, we have to do for the verification. So using the material cost variance, which is a combination of material price variance plus material usage variance. The material price variance we calculated for 2,300, which is a favorable result. Material usage we are getting an adverse 2,000. So which sign is more? Material price variance sign is more. So that's what the 300 difference we are getting. So obviously we have already calculated the material cost variance favorable 300. So finally, if you try to adjust subtract the difference, which is a result for 300 favorable. So moving for the labor cost variance, the information again, how many units we are producing? 5,700 units we are producing. Okay, we need to refer only for the labor. Okay, only labor we need to refer. So 10 hours we are consuming here. Obviously, here the standard labor hours required to actual production 5,700 into 10 hours. If you spend 57,000 hours, we are getting the actual hours which is given in the question only 56,800. The standard rate which is given in the question 3 rupee. Okay, the actual rate which is given in the question 3.04. Okay, once we got all the information related to the formula. So here the standard cost, again the formula same, standard hours into standard rate. Standard hours we calculated to 57,000 into 3 rupees standard price. If you multiply 1,70,000 we are getting. So to find out actual cost, labor cost, so actual hours into actual rate. Actual hours which is given in the 56,800 into 3.04. If you subtract the difference, okay, so obviously 1,70,000 minus 1,72,000, we are getting an adverse result here. So that's what I have written, 1,672 adverse result. So once you completed, moving to the labor rate variance, the formula, here actual quantity place we are writing hours. Standard price place we are writing RP. Okay, actual hours into standard rate minus actual rate. Standard actual hours of 56,800. The standard rate 3 minus actual rate 3.04. If you subtract, the difference is a negative. So answer also negative. So 56,800 into 0.04, 2,272, which is coming result is a negative. So that's what I have written A. Now moving to the labor efficiency variance. So under labor efficiency, always labor is completely comparing with the efficiency. We need to find out the standard rate into standard hours minus actual hours. The standard rate which is given in the question 3, and the standard hours we calculated 56,000 minus actual hours 56,800. Okay, obviously here the positive result we are getting here. So 57,000 minus 56,800, the difference is 200. 200 into 3, 600, favorable result. So obviously we need to do for verification. Labor cost variance, so the formula labor rate variance plus labor efficiency variance. Under labor cost variance we got 1,672 have written as it is. So under labor rate variance we got 2,272 as it is adverse. I'm getting that's what I have written as it is. Now here we are getting a favorable result. So obviously adverse is more, the result also adverse only. Keep on watch for next section. Thank you.